So regardless of whether you elect people into office, they'll backstab you, they'll let you die, and for that reason, you guys want to criminalize us with metal detectors, we'll see you at your house. We'll murder you.
She just made it crystal clear what her intentions are. We'll see you at your house and we'll murder you. We've got another unhinged protester. This one, you may have seen her, but I want to tell you a story about her. All right. She showed up in Bakersfield, California. And this is something she's been doing on and on. You're going to see two different clips here. And it's going to be weird because she's wearing the same outfit. Okay. Her name is Riddhi Patel. She is a community organizing activist in the Central Valley of California. This is in Bakersfield. Last week at a city council meeting. And again, she's wearing the same outfit, but in one clip, she's not wearing glasses. In the other clip, she is wearing glasses. And you're going to see what happens.
Hi there, my name is Riddhi Patel. I'm here to speak in support of the City Council introducing a ceasefire resolution, specifically the one United Liberation Front has drafted. I don't have faith that you'll do this. You guys are all horrible human beings, and Jesus probably would have killed you himself. And the thing is, though, it's very clear to me as someone who's been an organizer for the past couple of years that none of you care because you guys don't care about anything happening in Palestine or any other country where oppression occurs because you don't care about the oppression occurring here. And I understand that you guys are all horrible people, but the thing is, 2,300 people being evicted in the last year, those are votes. And you guys, those are votes to win here in Bakersfield. And while you guys parade Gandhi around as a Hindu holiday called Chaitra Navratri starts off this week, I remind you that these holidays that we practice, that other people in the global south practice, believe in violent revolution against their oppressors. And I hope one day somebody brings the guillotine and kills all of you motherfuckers. The increase.
Wow. She seems really nice, doesn't she? Now, later on in that meeting, she put her glasses on, as you can see, and then she had another speech. But let me just be clear, by the way, here. Also, I just want to point out, I am personally triggered and violated by the violence I'm seeing right now with this woman not wearing a mask up at the podium. Where in the hell is her mask? Does she not understand that she is killing through the internet my grandmother because of her behavior? Outrageous. I as an American who loves my First Amendment and my free speech, I think it's great for a citizen to be able to go up and talk to their elected officials and call them all horrible people and morons. Honestly, that is, in fact, our God-given right. And it's a right that we have fought for since our beginning, because we certainly couldn't say that to the King of England, or it'd be an off with your head situation. So that's fine. When you then call for the guillotine and to kill all you MFers, that might be a little bit too far. But here's what's interesting. Apparently, calling for the guillotine was a little too 19th century. It didn't quite sink in to the mayor and to the city council. They didn't quite get exactly what her point was. So then she came back on this issue. The issue that was being debated was budgeting money for metal detectors at City Hall. And well, then she put aside the romanticism of the French Revolution and just really brought it down home. She made it crystal clear what she wanted to do.
Increased criminalization for no need other than you don't like when people come and hold you guys accountable for introducing ceasefire resolutions, because the only escalation in violence has been by you all. And so there's no need to continue. In the last 5 years I've attended city council meetings, there's never been metal detectors. There's never been more cops. The only reason you're doing it is because people actually don't care if you guys don't like them, and they're actually resisting, so you want to criminalize them. So regardless of whether you elect people into office, they'll backstab you, they'll let you die, and for that reason, you guys want to criminalize us with metal detectors, we'll see you at your house. We'll murder you.
Next speaker, please.
Well, there you go. In case there was any doubt about that whole guillotine thing, she just made it crystal clear what her intentions are. We'll see you at your house and we'll murder you. And let me do the great internet video sort of trope here. You won't believe what happened next. Actually, you might believe it, because the mayor of Bakersfield is a Republican, where there's still a few people who believe in the rule of law.
It reached a boiling point.
And I hope one day somebody brings the guillotine and kills all of you
That was a threat, what you said at the end, and so the officers are going to escort you out and take care of that.
After those words, 28-year-old Riddhi Patel was escorted out of the meeting and arrested by police. Councilman and Vice Mayor Andre Gonzalez says things have gone.
Yeah, all right, so she got arrested. That was them carrying her out and arresting her. And then the next day, I'm sure you've seen this video, but it's worth seeing again. Here is Riddhi Patel being arraigned, her first court appearance. She's not so vivacious here, is she? She doesn't seem quite as fiery. She doesn't have the same kind of, what is it? The zhuzh. It seems like she, effed around and found out, right? In fact, as you can well imagine, this has created quite a few memes on the internet. The classic how it started and how it's going side-by-side comparison. You pro-Palestinian, pro-Hamas types go to a city council meeting and talk about how you want to murder the elected officials, and suddenly you're going to find yourself in tears crying. And that's fair game. And it does make us all feel pretty good about ourselves, seeing somebody finally get their comeuppance. Although, again, this is California, so will they even find a jury who will convict her? Doubtful. There have been repercussions, though. She worked for a activist group called the Center on Race, Poverty, and Environment. I'm sure that's funded by the Soros team. And she was fired. Center on Race, Poverty, and Environment, CRPE, became aware of an incident involving our former employee, Riddhi Patel, at the Bakersfield City Council. We unequivocally condemn any threats of violence or unethical behavior. CRPE has been committed to upholding the highest standards of integrity, blah, blah, blah. As a result of this incident, we made the decision to terminate Riddhi Patel. We recognize this is a difficult situation. Is it? How difficult is it? I assure you it's more difficult for the spouses and children of the members of the Bakersfield City Council who have to go to bed at night wondering if your employee is going to murder them. This is a difficult situation. We're dedicated to handling it with the utmost care and sensitivity. Going forward, CRP will continue to focus on our mission of advancing environmental justice and civil rights in the communities we serve. No, actually, this is exactly what environmental justice looks like. This is exactly what inclusivity looks like. All of these groups with the very wonderful sounding names, this is who they are. This is what they do. Speaking of who they are, let's take a moment, though, because I know you've seen this story. But it's too easy for us to look at an individual like this and just think they're a lunatic and think they're nuts and wonder, why we can't be rid of them in our society. And I just want to take a moment to remind everybody that she is somebody's daughter. I look at something like this and I think, oh my God, how do her parents feel right now? Because people aren't born like this. People aren't born with this anger. People aren't born with this rage. Andy No, the independent journalist, has actually found a little bit of information about her. And then I dug up and found a little bit more. Riddhi Patel is a prison abolitionist. That means she wants to get rid of prison completely. Like Antifa ideologues, she's involved in local Black and brown abolitionist groups, advocates for Palestine. Patel was arrested on suspicion of threatening state officials and making terroristic threats. Suspicion seems pretty clear. It's not alleged. We have the video. Her bail is set at $1 million. Here's an example of a social media post that she put out on the 28th of March. 5 folks arrested today at Bakersfield City Council meeting after folks have been turning out for months with United Liberation Front to demand City Council introduce a ceasefire resolution. And of course, that we saw what it looks like when she demands a ceasefire resolution. She wants to bring out the guillotine. I have a question. How did her organization, who says that they condemn this kind of behavior, how did they not know or see that this is the kind of activism that she's been doing for quite some time? That's what she looks like. That's the picture that she put on her Facebook. But we did a little digging, and we found that before she found herself in Bakersfield, where she was originally born and grew up, she went to school at St. Louis University. And while she was there, again, the question here is, how exactly does somebody end up like this? Because they're not born this way. They don't come out of the womb as a hateful, angry radical threatening to murder elected officials. What happened? Well, we're going to go backwards in time for a moment. You see her today on her social media. You just saw her at that meeting threatening to murder the MFers who are her elected officials. Here she is at St. Louis University before she left. What happened? College happened to her. This is her with her dyed radical hair and her pierced nose, giving some kind of online social media rant about whatever cause is most important to her. But she didn't arrive at university like that. No, when she arrived there, she was a young freshman. She was going to run on the St. Louis Billikens track and field team because she was a high school athlete. In fact, here she is with her gold medal, winning first place in the Kern County track and field competition. I show you this to remind you that everybody is somebody's daughter. And the person who looks like this today, threatening to murder an elected official and then getting arraigned on $1 million bond, at some point in her life, she looked like this in high school. And she looked like this when she arrived in college, full of hopes and dreams. And then after attending just enough classes where the radical left Marxist ideologues beat into her skull the kind of hateful critical race theory, DEI crap that is part of our college curriculums, by the time she leaves college, she looks like this. And then she makes her way to a city council meeting, and she looks like this. This doesn't happen by accident, and it doesn't happen in a vacuum. This happens because we, normal Americans, have taken the eye off the ball, off of academia, and how the culture is now infecting every walk of life. And the next thing you know, your daughter, who was the jewel of your life, the apple of your eye, the treasure in your heart, as a young track and field star in high school, where you could go and drive her to practice every day and root her on as she's racing against other young girls to try to be the best that she can be. And then she goes to college, and you hand that beautiful girl over to other adults to help mold her and form her. And they form her into a monster. But she isn't a monster. She's a person. And we got to remember that as we try to bring this country back from the brink that we're sitting on right now. They're all somebody's daughters. They're all somebody's sons. And if they can be programmed in this direction, then they can be programmed back to where they belong.